the consequences and the backlash and all of the heat that you're getting from people, from Ava DuVernay to, I mean, it's just like all Eric Reed. And how do you handle that? How do you process it? What do you say when the people call you out your name and compare you to Steven from Django?
well, listen, here's the deal. First of all, I respectfully disagree with some of them. Others can kiss my ass. It depends on who they are and how they come at me. Ava DuVernay, I mean, I have profound respect for her work. I'm certainly not going to say that about her. Eric Reed, there's a lot that I could say, particularly when he's sitting there taking a check from the NFL while talking the smack that he's talking. But I won't even go there. What I will say to you is this. Colin Kaepernick has a camp, a cadre of people who are incredibly, incredibly supportive of him. Over the last several months, they've reached out to me on several occasions, asking for me to speak truth and to be supportive of him. I've done that. In front of the camera, behind the camera. I've highlighted he's been blackballed. I've highlighted it's unfair. I've highlighted that it's egregious what the NFL has done to him, or how it reeks of hypocrisy in certain respects. Just today on my radio show, I had to remind somebody of what you said when you hung up on a caller yesterday, because you just summarily dismissed him because of his tendencies. He brought up patriotism and all that stuff, and I had to remind them, excuse me, Colin Kaepernick was not unpatriotic. Colin Kaepernick did not disrespect our flag. As a matter of fact, Colin Kaepernick literally consulted with someone who was in the military who informed him that it was respectful to take a knee, not to mention the fact that I had interviewed on many, many occasions several military men and women who said we fought for him to have the right to do exactly what he did. I've highlighted that he violated no laws, he violated no bylaws, while the NBA and Major League Baseball had a policy mandating you stand for the national anthem. The NFL had no such thing. It strongly encouraged you to do so, but it didn't mandate it. So all of these things are things that I have said about Colin Kaepernick spanning 3 years. I can't count how many times I've said it. Saturday was a different ballgame. And here was what Saturday was about. Knowing who the NFL is, knowing how they treated you, you and your camp kept saying, I want an NFL job. I want the opportunity to try out. And I'm saying, here it is. It's 25 teams that's showing up. You can give me a liability waiver all day long. Not even saying you're wrong about it. I'm quite sure that we've signed waivers, that we've had job interviews, that we've had situations where this is some BS that I got to put myself through. But I got to handle my business here, so let me show up and show out. I'm doing it in front of 25 different teams, a vast majority of them who sent African Americans, some who are in the GM pipeline, meaning they're about to become GMs in the NFL in the near future. They're going to be in attendance. Jay-Z, who was castigated when he had that press conference with Roger Goodell because it didn't look good. I went on the air last week and reported, y'all, here's what I'm hearing. Jay-Z told the owners this is the right thing to do. The owners said, quote, what's the problem? Colin Kaepernick ain't in the news. It's faded. And guess what? Revenue is up. We made over $10 billion this year already. Ratings are up. Oh, by the way, the top 4 league MVP candidates are Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson. All of them black. All of them quarterbacks. We don't need him. We're just fine. Jay-Z said, nah, it ain't fine. I know we got an agreement, but from what I'm hearing, if Jay-Z was like, yo, if you're not going to do this, there is no agreement. I'm walking away from this. They didn't want to do that, so they capitulated. So in light of that, then I was told, and I went on the air and said this, if Colin Kaepernick shows up, this is a quote. Somebody said to me, if he shows up, he'd have to throw the ball into the stands not to have a job within 2 weeks. Now, do we know definitively whether that's true? Of course not. But I'm saying that was what the situation was. Prior to that, it's been 3 years. You've gotten no phone calls. You've had no tryouts. Nobody would even give you a look. And here was the opportunity. So why not show up and take it? Or if you're not going to take the opportunity, let your lawyer speak on the waiver. To have a workout 51 miles away after informing the NFL just a half hour before your scheduled workout that you weren't coming, and then to go there, have the workout, and then hold a press conference antagonizing the commissioner and various owners, calling them out while still saying you want a job. It's not the wisest thing in the world to do. And I'll close by saying this. My attitude is very, very simple. As black people, we are always behind the 8 ball. As I've said many times, and I said it twice over the last 2 days, when white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. It is always worse for us. We know it. We deal with it. We find a way to adapt, adjust to the situation, and conquer in that moment. In my personal opinion, Colin Kaepernick had every right, and it wouldn't have bothered me at all if he did every single thing he did in terms of the press conference, what he said, and all of the stuff after kicking ass Saturday at the workout and seeing what happened. But he didn't. Instead, you got Jerry Jones on radio in Dallas today saying the opportunity was presented to him. I'm paraphrasing. The opportunity was available to him. And clearly, his objective was about something more than football. And that's Jerry Jones and all of those owners' way of saying it was more about football, which was our concern to begin with. And when I went on TV last week, I specifically said it ain't even about the workout because he's a stud athlete. They already know that. Everything was about the interview that they were going to have with him after. He knew it. We all knew it. That's my position.
All right. So back when Jackie Robinson integrated baseball, the league, I think the Red Sox, gave him a workout, and they had no intention of actually bringing him onto the field, baseball field. And they call it the curse of Jackie Robinson because they said it's curse of Bambino, but it's actually what they did there. I believe that none of the league, no owner, no team would they were actually going to give Colin Kaepernick a job.
Okay.
And I believe if the league wanted to save face, they could have just hired him, put him on a team. There are several teams that could use him. There are teams that couldn't use him. Put him on the bench, bring him onto this thing, cut him next year, end of story, turn the page, chapter over. He got his chance, didn't make it. Oh, well. But I think they also are sending a message. And I think they're buck breaking. I think they're using, and I think he knows that. So there's a dance going on. And for many of us watching it play out, a lot of us are going to be on the side of the resistance because we see that if no one is going to stand up in mass, then they get to do whatever they want willy-nilly. There's no football league without 75% of those black players. You just mentioned the top quarterbacks right now, and the highest paid one is a black man, not because they like him, but because he's playing the hell out of the game of football. And if they are being honest about that, those owners can't throw a ball, they can't block a tackle or do any of that. They need those players. They want them to heal. They want them to bow. They want them to act in a certain kind of way. And I think they're men.
Well, here's my response, and, feel free, everybody, to chime in. That may be true in terms of what you were saying Saturday was about, because the other stuff you said obviously is true historically. I mean, there's nothing to debate there. But Saturday, what you said about what their intent may have been is true. I ask a very simple question to all of y'all here. Is there a better scenario that you know of for him? If his objective was to play in the NFL. He said, I want to play in the NFL. I'm talking about his camp because he hasn't spoken directly other than speaking in front of the camera Saturday. Right. And by the way, he didn't take any questions. He don't want an inquiry. He just wants to speak and run. But that's fine.
You said he wants to be a martyr.
That's right. Yeah, I meant
You still stand by that?
I still stand by that. Yes. And here's what I'm saying is, here's what people are missing about me saying that. There's no shame in it. Just say so. Don't tell me and have your people telling me, because I'm one of the people they told. I got text messages spanning 2 months to prove it. Don't tell me you want to play football. And that you just want to get back on the field because that was the premise I was attacking. When I was communicating with NFL owners, when I was communicating with NFL officials, when I was communicating on his behalf to folks in the media and beyond, I'm like, yo, let's work on getting this brother back in the league because he said that's what he wants. If you want to be an activist, if you want to be a martyr, if you want to sit up there and say, hell with all of that, I got stuff that I still want to address, and I will not bow to this. That's not an issue. The issue was he behind the scenes was saying, I just want to play football. And I'm like, yo.
Okay.
What happened?
Hold on.
Sure.
Can he play football?
Can I answer that question honestly?
Yeah.
We think so. It's been 3 years. Karen Hunter, this is my domain. I ain't asking. His record is 3-16 in his last 19 starts.
I read the stats.
1-10. Completed 59.8% of his passes in his last year. The fact of the matter is, also got beat out by Blaine Gabbert, primarily due to injury. But these are facts. These are facts.
Is there a team in the NFL right now who could benefit from the talents of Are there 6 teams?
No, listen. My personal belief is yes, but at 32 years of age, going from the game for 3 years, a lot of NFL people would say to you, no.
Okay, so
I don't know the answer to that question.
Let me ask you another. Since it's a business, Giants.
Mm-hmm.
They need a quarterback.
No, not anymore. No. Daniel Jones is their franchise quarterback. Eli Manning has been benched. Keep going.
He sucks. All right. Who's the team? Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz, Philadelphia. He ain't better than no Carson Wentz.
Bengals?
No.
The Bengals?
Bengals, yeah. Andy Dalton, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's take the Bengals.
Okay.
A team that we can agree on.
Right. That 0-10. Keep going.
0-10.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Small market.
Mm-hmm.
If Colin Kaepernick's on that team, would they have more people coming to the game?
I believe so.
Right? Would they sell more merchandise?
I believe so.
Okay, it's a business.
Time out.
It's a business.
Time out. How many times? See, just for your listeners and your peeps up in here, I would preface my comments by reminding y'all that I came into this business in 1993. And the first day that I walked through the door of the New York Daily News, there was someone who greeted me. It was that woman.
Let's stop telling that story.
No. Let me go a step further. Karen Hunter didn't just teach me how to elevate my quality of writing and reporting. She taught me the business. And what she would religiously point out is the importance of strategizing and maneuvering your way through the minefields, always understanding the odds are stacked against you and you can do this, but they'll squash you, especially if they see you coming. Or you can strategize and do that, and then as a result, you can find your way to maneuver your way into the trenches where you could really make a difference. So I would simply retort by saying to you, I would simply retort by saying to you that what I preach about, what you've preached about, what many people have talked about, is not about right and wrong. Let's get that out the way. Colin Kaepernick is right.
Yeah.
Let's get that out the way. That's not the issue. The issue is how you strategized all of this.
Okay.
Is that going to work for you? And my answer would be no, because the NFL is saying to you, you can talk business about what it will be. We're telling you what it is. We're the owners and we ain't hurting.